What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Changing My Ways podcast. I'm your host, Vaughn, and on this podcast, I'll be discussing a numerous amount of topics, including self-improvement, trending discussions, and media in regards to sports, politics, and music, and just some storytelling. Before I dive into the main topic of today's episode, I first want to just briefly go over some events that are going on in the world as of late. For those of you who aren't aware of what's going on in the southeastern part of the country, Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton have caused a lot of damage in those areas. With winds up to 100 miles an hour and a lot of flooding, many people have lost power, businesses, homes, and even more unfortunate loved ones. I'm going to be putting a link to donate in the description for the video below. If you could, please send prayers and donate to those who have been horribly affected by this natural disaster. In other news, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has been in the U.S. news cycle for about a year, despite it being an ongoing issue in that region for decades. I really only have one thing that I would like to say about this. If you are someone who has not been invested in this issue because they feel that they have no reason to be, I like to simply communicate to you that it's not about having a reason. As I was someone at a time who was not invested in this issue just because I did not want to be, I like to say that was extremely insensitive and just wrong, as I saw how it affected people that were close to me who were deeply impacted by this issue. Like I said, it's not about finding a reason. The act of having sympathy for others truly never is. Now, I'm not going to do any routine of attempting to put any of you in the shoes of victims' families or gaslight you into caring about an issue, because in regards to being persuasive, that is not necessarily effective. What I will say is, at the end of the day, this is a human rights issue, and many people who grew up in this country don't necessarily have to face the issues that the innocent lives of Palestine are facing, or at least be perceived as second-class citizens. But we should all be able to objectively look at that situation and see that what's going on over there is not right. I implore all who are listening to donate, educate, support, and boycott for this cause, not because they need to look for a reason, but because ethically and morally speaking, it is just the right thing to do. I'm also going to be putting links to information that I found helpful that educated myself on this topic, as well as some links to donate to relief funds to help the innocent people who are suffering from this issue over there. And I thank you guys in advance for that. Now, for the main topic of today's episode, it's going to be relatively brief, but I will be covering mental health. Mental health is such a vast topic that I'm really only just going to be talking about self-confidence and how ultimately to be just a fan of oneself and whatever it is that they choose to do. I think what's important in terms of obtaining confidence is first finding a purpose. As I was someone who struggled with confidence and why I do or don't indulge in certain things, I've come to find that asking myself these two questions as of late have really helped me overcome that issue. Number one, what is it that I'm afraid of doing or going against? And number two, what do I fear will come from going through whatever it is that I want to do? And I've honestly come to the conclusion that both answers to those questions just relate to having to deal with discomfort. Back at a time where I was consistently affected about how I was perceived by other people, I'd rather avoid dealing with any feeling that associated itself with discomfort versus accepting it is for what it was, which just was another person giving their opinion. And over time, I've made it necessary to change that way of thinking. And I think three things that helped me along the way with doing that were, number one, is probably just the simplest, confiding in someone or people that were just close to me and sharing my struggles with them. Most people are probably going through something similar, if not the exact same. And even if they aren't, they can always give a different perspective that will cause you to have a more positive outlook on whatever it is that you're going through. Number two, practice positive self-talk. This is a concept that I learned in a mental illness class that I was taking for psychology during my tenure at college. And I've truly underestimated the power of using words of encouragement to strengthen one's confidence and also build up their personality to where they understand how valuable they are to themselves and people around them. And I think finally, acknowledging the fact that you need to be more of a supporter of yourself than you are a critic. I think society has truly been a detriment to people, especially young people, in convincing them that they are not good enough, intelligent, or attractive enough to control what they want out of life. Now, obviously life has its own course, and everything that you attempt to will into existence won't become a reality. But I think focusing on what you want, truly acknowledging the power of manifestation, and then also just realizing that there are a lot of people that are probably going through similar issues that you are, if not the exact same, again, that can make things easier when overcoming daily obstacles that come your way, once you see how relatable it is to the average person. And then I believe that in return would just cause one's mental health to become a lot more healthy and positive in the long run, and things we plan to take action on in the future. That's really all I got for that. Like I said, it's going to be really brief. I appreciate all you guys for watching, and be sure to be on the lookout for more content, as I will be posting more and having a couple friends joining me for the future episodes in the podcast and things I plan to be doing also. Again, I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.